Hello, my name is Mild Wolfie, and today we're going to be playing some Darkest Dungeon. This is a wonderful little roguelite in which 4 mercenaries are taken into a dungeon to do your bidding. Just gonna go ahead and get started here. Create the Mild Wolfie estate, and we'll begin.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling, serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
So already you can see the music, the art style, and the narration are all just absolutely fantastic in this game. That's good because the game is going to piss you off. This is not a game for people who throw their controllers across the room when angered. It is out to kill you. So, we've got Reynold, Dismas. These are the 2 we've hired to take us down the old road, get us to our property.
Keep to the side path.
Okay.
The hamlet is
This game
just
can
ahead.
be played pretty much exclusively with the mouse.
Dispatch this thug in brutal fashion, that all
Alright.
may hear
Our
of your
first
arrival.
target. So, 15 health, resist 25 across the board. Let's go ahead, we're going to use Open Vein. See if we can't get him bleeding. It's going to do 49 damage. 6. Acceptable. Alright. And he's bleeding. It only hurt a little bit. So, we're going to use Smite. That's our damage dealing attack here.
Confidence surges
Good, finished
as
him
the
off
enemy crumbles.
quite cleanly. Money. A tent to be searched.
Leave nothing
This
unchecked.
is actually a
There is
really
much to
good
be
haul
found
for
in
this
forgotten
tutorial
places.
area. I've played this and ended with 100 gold.
An ambush. Send
And
these vermin a message.
It doesn't really
The
matter
rightful
because the
owner has
quest
returned,
reward for this
and
bit
their
is
kind is no longer welcome.
5,000 gold if I recall, so it doesn't make a huge difference. This guy has 50% stun resist, but if I can avoid taking damage from him for 1 turn, and I didn't. Well, let's get him bleeding. No, failed on that too. I feel you want to get the bleeds out as early as possible in order to maximize what it's going to do for you. Alright, 2 damage per round for 3 rounds. And now I'm bleeding. That's okay though. Let's just... I'll try one more time. No, resist again.
Death waits for the slightest lapse in concentration.
I am actually getting a lot of stress considering this is only the tutorial.
Reeling, about to break.
You will have to use these 2 for the first dungeon, and it's not possible to rest them up prior to that. Let's see if we can't get the damage good.
Victory.
Alright,
Perhaps the turning point.
now when he was in the back position, he was able to hit both of my mercenaries at the same time. Now that he's in the front position, that's not possible for him. So this should be a pretty quick cleanup.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
So that's actually quite a bit of income. Cool. Alright, we're going to open this chest. I don't have a key, so I'm going to have to suffer the trap. I, of course, could have just ignored it, but, you know, the game mechanics, they want to teach you, hey, if you don't have a key, it's going to fuck you up. There we go, 5,000 gold reward. 2 deeds. Yeah, 2350, that is a very good haul for the tutorial. Oh, let's see what quirk he gets. Oh, neato. So we'll be able to upgrade weapons eventually, not for the first 2 or 3 quests. I can't remember exactly how long. I've played the game a little bit. I've not gotten very far though.
Such as it is.
People like to die.
This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now. And you are bound to them.
Oh, yep, help system. So this is the graveyard. No one there
Most
yet,
will
but
end
he
up
is
here,
highly
covered in the
anticipating
poison
of their
earth,
death.
awaiting merciful oblivion.
Yes, something terrible.
Women and men, soldiers and outlaws.
Okay.
Fools and corpses.
Every
All
time
will
you play,
find their way to us now that the road is clear.
you're going to get the same 2 hero types available first. Take a look at what they have. Ah, this isn't particularly good. Noxious Blast is okay. That Blight is pretty good. But buffs are essentially useless in the game as it is right now. It's just, why would you increase someone's damage by 15% when you could just do a full attack that turn? Because these buffs, they do take a turn to do. Disorienting Blast isn't great either. What I'd prefer is Plague Grenade and Blinding Gas. Those aren't going to be available to me for a quest or 2. I can't remember quite how much. That's not very good. He's going to get stressed quicker. But he resists Affliction. That's neat. And Scouting Chance is always appreciated. Alright. Hue. +5 protection. Bleed resist. That's good. More likely to get bad afflictions. Also not as good as resisting blight. Now that's all I want. That's absolutely all I care about is that healing right there. Judgment is good too. Give them a little bit of healing while doing damage. And it's usable from the back positions, which is where Hugh is going to be spending all of her time. So, as of right now, everything is locked. So I won't be able to do anything else here other than embark.
A mecca of madness and morbidity.
Our rewards are here for when we complete the quest.
Begins.
There are going to be many times when you just don't complete that quest. This game is, it's brutal, borderline unfair, but I love it. I keep wanting to play it. So that's how they're going to be organized as we start this. They move from left to right always, unless you want to backstep, which is not necessarily advisable. It can cause you to gain stress quicker.
Measured now in gold, later
Fortunately,
in blood.
there's not an option to turn off those tutorial tips. At least not that I've seen. Maybe that's something they'll add as the game gets more developed. So here we get to pick what we're taking on our little adventure. There are going to be starve events, where if you don't have enough food for your entire party, nobody gets to eat, and then they take a significant amount of damage. And that's just never fun. We'll take a few shovels in case there's anything blocking our path. We'll just take 1 anti-venom. Since we're going to the ruins, I don't recall there being too much that causes blight. However, plenty of bleeding. We'll take 3 of those. And then the rest of the items, apart from the torch, which we will want, a few of. I don't mind a little darkness, but the rest of the items are used on various objects in the game in order to improve the outcome of what they give you. Okay, I think that's good. Let's go. I feel like I use the more expensive embarkment. You could probably get away with using less than what I use, but
The fiends must be driven
just
back.
feels safer. Of
And
course,
what
that
better
might
place
be...
to begin than the seat of our noble line.
Oh, narrator, you're so good. I feel like the reason my first campaign failed after 12 weeks was because I went bankrupt, so maybe I'll start going a little more sparingly on the Abark, but we'll see. Okay. Let's see, our objective, complete 100% room battles. Well, we're going to do the shortest path first, because we're going to have to backtrack, and that's going to consume torchlight. Basically, every little cube you walk is going to consume a little bit of this torch. So, right off the bat, we've got this alchemy table. So, I happen to know there are two things you can do. You can use the torch, or you can use the medicinal herbs. The herbs will give you loot. The torch will give you chemical light, I believe. I want some loot. There we go. That is very good loot. Can never have enough money. Trap.
Curious is the trap maker's
So,
art.
there are going to be
His
traps throughout
efficacy
the dungeon.
unwitnessed by his own eyes.
Yes, narrator, I love you. There are going to be traps throughout the dungeon, and the only way to really avoid them is to have already scouted them. Now, scouting occurs randomly as you enter a room, or after combat, if combat occurs. So I've surprised the monsters. That's going to give me a free round to just brutalize them. So, Bone Ravel, he is 100% resist to bleed. However, Blight is only 25, so I'm going to see if I can get some Blight off. I don't. I miss completely. Highwayman. I love Highwayman. He's got this Grape Shot Blast, which is going to let me attack 3 targets at once for 2 to 5 damage for a total of 6 to 15, assuming it hits. I have 75, 73, 73% chance of hit. I find that if you miss one, you tend to miss all of them, but we'll see. Okay. Not bad. So, now, nothing's been done to me yet, so, let's see. I don't need to heal myself, so let's see if we can get a stun off. Nope, he resisted. Alright. 5 and 5. Judgment has a very good potential of killing both of them. It let Judgment, of course, allowing me to attack the front 2 simultaneously. So let's give that a go.
Disadvantage. Give them no
Okay,
quarter.
the rabble survived, but next time the Highwayman gets a chance, I'll use Grape Shot again. That should take off the rabble and damage both of these. And, oh, look whose turn it is.
Confidence
Bam.
surges as the
That was a
enemy crumbles.
very good shot. 5 across the board. So now we're going to use Incision on the Cultist Alkalite. Dodged, unfortunately. It has a decent chance of killing the front end. Nope. But they're both down to their last 1 to 2 HP, so this will be very quick mop up. Let's heal ourselves while we finish this.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Okay. And we'll just... There we go.
This expedition at least promises success.
Okay, let's, why not? Let's search the sarcophagus. And... what does that do? Minus 20% stress resist. That's not good at all. Oh, there we go. We got our scouting off. So now I know there are 2 objects on the way, followed by combat. There we go. Feh. So here... I believe I'm supposed to use medicinal herbs. And when doing that, it kind of cleanses the cauldron. Let's see what it does when you don't use an item. Ah, loot.
If only treasure
Very good.
could staunch the flow of
I don't think that's a
otherworldly
common
corruption.
occurrence, but I'll take it. Okay, so your torchlight greatly affects how combat's going to go for you and how stress and scouting occurs. The lower the light, obviously you're going to get more stress, but the loot you get from combat's going to be better as well. On my first few playthroughs, I kept it, you know, above 75%, but honestly I wasn't getting enough loot. So I'm starting to keep it more towards this 25 to 75 range. So right off the bat, let's grape shot. I can't bleed any of these, so that's pretty much what my highwayman's going to be doing for this combat.
Dazed,
Ooh, brutal.
reeling, about to break.
Okay. I really wish I had poisonous gas. We're gonna Noxious Blast. Let's nope, it's miss. I was hoping to get really any amount of damage and then the Blight would finish him off. Yeah, very good chance of killing both of them. Nope, of course the higher damage goes to the back one, leaving the front one alive. Let's see. Let's do some Judgment, heal her up a bit. It's good, got rid of that one. So, these Bone Arbalist, their more powerful attack, Quarrel, requires them to be in the back two positions. Now that they're in the front two positions, I don't have to worry about that so much. So, 2 to 5 damage for either. I know they can't... Alright, Grape Shot has the better damage potential here, even though there's not a third monster. So, I'm much less worried about that bayonet jab. You know what? Everyone's hurt now. Let's start getting that party heal going. There we go. That's why I like to see 2 across the board. So it only does 1 to 2 per party member, but when you have 4 injured party members, that's a guaranteed 4 healing and a potential 8, which is just the best value you can get. So unless you have a party member who's at critical and just really needs to be healed up, might as well do that party heal and get everyone up a bit. Grape Shot. See if we can finish this. There we go.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Got some cress, and these are what we really like to see so that we can get our buildings upgraded as quickly as possible. Yes. Torch. So, as the torch is now below 50, plus stress, plus monster accuracy and damage, but loot and player crits go up as well. So I'll let the torch go down a little more before I refill it. Nothing. It's okay, it's gonna happen. It's not the worst thing in the world. As you can see, just walking around you get stress. Especially when that torch is low. What am I doing? I'm in a room. There's no sense in walking in rooms. And I've already scouted this area, so I was able to see that new combat has shown... there's that hunger event I was talking about. So, when you eat, you regain 5% health. It's not great, it's not terrible either, but when you starve, you lose 20%. So the risks of not having food far out exceed the benefit of having food. So just 3 targets, 8, 8, and 10. Shouldn't take too long. Got a Noxious Blast, 2 to 4 damage. Hoping for 3 at least so that the Blight could finish them off on their next turn. Excuse me. See, now he's got that 1 HP left, and that's 6 damage I really didn't want to have to take. What's his life at? 21. Yeah, let's party here. There we go. 7. He's going to be dead next turn, so no sense using Accusation here. We're going to use Smite. Get the kill there. He's guaranteed dead next time he gets a turn. So let's Judgment. See if we can't get the kill. Unfortunately not. Yeah, why not?
As victories mount,
I will take
so
that.
too will resistance.
Onward to questing. Let's go ahead, put a little more light on the fire. You're in the best condition right now, so if we're going to check inside, let's use you.
Glittering gold,
very
trinkets
good.
and baubles, paid for in blood.
Blood. And that is literally the worst thing that can happen to you. So now that my party's all screwed up, their abilities now, the Highwayman, he doesn't care. As long as he's in one of these middle two, he can do whatever he wants. So now I have to weigh in, do I want to try and get some damage off, or do I want to immediately start getting my party back in position? And I mean, these guys are all going to be useless with how they are right now. So I really need to start getting my party back into position. Yeah. Unfortunately, the Highwayman, he can move 2 spaces, but most of the others, they can only move 1. So I popped him into the back so I can try to get my Crusader up. Renaud. Alright. He'll be able to do enough. Let's go ahead. No. And it's a miss. 6 to 12 or 3 to 7. So I have 6 to 14 potential here spread across the two, getting us 11. And that's going to make him more likely to go down with a single target attack later.
Mortality clarified.
Right off Death's Door immediately. So I need it to be her turn. So I can at least get her into the back where she belongs. He's got enough health, I don't need to worry about him right now, but you... And I got the full 5, which is amazing. So let's... I'm only going to be able to do 4 to 7. 5. So he'll bleed out a bit, but that's not really going to help me as much as I was hoping. And you're back at Death's Door. So, the way Death's Door works, 0 HP does not necessarily mean death. What it means is the potential of death. So now what can happen is he can take a hit, and the dice will be rolled. And if the dice does not go in his favor, and there you go, he's dead. It's very bad for me. Because I still have a lot of dungeon left. And now I have to start weighing in. Have I made enough for this little adventure to be worth it?
In concentration.
Breathes heavily. Yeah, you're not allowed to die, dude. So... just get you out of here. He can't do his party attack, but he could still kill my Crusader. However, now he'll bleed to death on his next turn, so it's no big deal.
The bigger the beast, the greater the glory.
Oh, neato. So, I have to look and say, did I get enough for this little adventure to be worth it? Honestly, yeah, I probably did. Got a significant amount of monetary value here. I've got 8 crests, but I didn't get any of the other items required for upgrading buildings. Plus, when you leave the dungeon, these items you brought in with you, they're all discarded. You don't get to carry them over to the next. I haven't used a single shovel, which is odd because usually there's piles of bones and rock piles that you have to dig through, and if you don't, you take damage. Reynold is at death's door outside of combat now. You can't use your healing abilities outside of combat, which means my only choice here is to eat. Now, if I still had my Plague Doctor, I might not want to do that because I could potentially face another hunger event. However, since I only have 3 party members, why not? Honestly, losing a party member in the first dungeon is brutal. It's really not good. It's almost worth not continuing, but I'm going to dredge on. So what I'm doing real quick, we've got this confession booth. There is a slight chance, I don't recall how it works, but the person who confesses... No, too much to bear stress.
And despondence.
There's a chance that the person who confesses will have a quirk removed. I don't recall if that requires the use of, let's say, holy water, but I thought I'd give it a try anyway, see what I got. So, thankfully I've surprised them. It's going to let me get a little bit off the bat. I'm down a hero, that's a significant disadvantage. So this may not go well anyways. So, do I have enough? Yes, okay. I definitely favor the multi-target attacks. Okay, good. So, what she just did was attempt to push my Crusader into the back. It's just the worst. It really is. He just resisted bleed, which is great. So you have 10, 7. You don't have any potential to kill with the grape shot right now. I'd rather, I think, get the bleed out. Do I want to risk... It's 2 points for 3 rounds. Oh, let's try and get... Oh, brutal. We got him out of the way, which is great. You know what? You're okay. You're okay. Let's get our Crusader up a little bit. There we go. That should keep him well enough. So, 3 to 7, 3 to 7. Or, I might be able to get him out immediately. Excellent. So yeah, being 1 party member down is not a death sentence. It's definitely not a good thing, though. Got that dodge off. So, let's get some party heals out here. Unfortunately, this also means Divine Comfort, my party heal, is not... It just doesn't look as good as it used to. Its potential has been dropped down 3 to 6, as opposed to its previous 4 to 8. So I'm probably going to, oh yeah, Affliction time.
Fear and frailty finally claim their due.
So, go away, please. What are you? Abusive. So he's going to abuse the other party members now. While she is going to, basically, occasionally, she's going to refuse to attack, and this isn't good. They also come with huge debuffs, so minus 20% damage because of the affliction, minus 10 on health. You know, same with him, minus 10% health. He has no dodge now. He can't dodge. It's just not a thing that's going to happen. So what'll probably happen is I'm going to be leaving this dungeon pretty soon. Let's give her
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
So we are going to... I really need those, so we're going to get rid of this anti-venom because it's not going to do me any good after leaving here. Let's open this chest with a key.
Wealth beyond measure.
And
Rewarding
that's
to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
definitely making this little adventure worth it. Well, not worth it, but not such a loss. Yes, yes, no room in the inventory. Well, we've got more stuff. What should I get rid of? Let's get rid of holy water. Okay, now the question is, do I want to explore a little more, or do I want to just accept the end of this dungeon? I've got plenty of health. Why not? Okay. So I don't have anything. I can't remember if it's holy water or medicinal herbs. I think it's medicinal herbs, but I don't have anything that makes this viable, that can really screw with me. I believe there is a chance of finding loot, though. Nope, nothing but air. Oh well. And then you're in good condition. Let's read a book. Oh. Quick draw. +4 speed, that's very good. So the more speed, the more likely he goes first in a given round. Okay, I'm not so worried about the spiders, though I did just get rid of my anti-venom. So let's... 49 damage. Hopefully we get the kill. Or we could just, you know, get the dodge entirely. So, there we go. We see Fearful coming in. That's really unfortunate. Now I've got Blight. I'm going to take 3 points of damage guarantee unless I can end this combat, though the Blight will continue out of combat.
How quickly?
Oh! That could be it. So he took the Blight. Alright, it's not worth losing him, so we're gonna...
This skirmish may be lost.
I was successful.
But the battle may yet be won.
When my wife was playing, she tried retreating 4 times and failed every time. You know, it doesn't seem like there's at any point where it says, you know what, you lost 4 rounds, we're just gonna let you have the retreat. No, it just keeps going. So before we lose him, we're just gonna accept that we've got decent loot, and we're gonna... I had completed the quest already. I'm dumb.
All my whole. We reclaim what is ours.
Okay, it's fine. Nothing bad happened, though it potentially could have. So I had just forgotten that quest was simply to complete the room battles. Now, since there were 3 rooms, in my head I was going, oh, there's definitely going to be more room battles. But there weren't, so quest complete. You know, it's just the randomness of everything, that's how it works. So this is, you know, if I hadn't lost a hero, this would have been a really good little adventure in. That's quite a bit for a short level dungeon. So I definitely made a good haul here. Unfortunately, my Blight Doctor's dead, and I really do like the Blight Doctors. Maybe if he had had poisoning gas or the blinding grenade. That's no good. Ugh. Okay, so this is a thing that can happen. You know, you definitely have a chance of getting quirks at the end of each dungeon, and they can all be bad. Now, later on... Oh, he's got talk. Surely. No talking? Okay. So, I've unlocked 2 stress relief buildings, which I'm going to be using on pretty much... I'm not going to be allowed to use it on everyone, because I'm going to have to get heroes, and I only have 2 that I can choose from. Now, one is a Crusader. Stop talking. One is a Crusader, so I'll be definitely having my Crusader rest. But since I lost a hero, I really needed to have upgraded this stagecoach earlier. Number of heroes available, 3. Hero barracks, increase roster size to 11. That wouldn't do me any good right now, but I definitely could have increased 3 or maybe even 4. And then I wouldn't be in such a bad situation right now, but I didn't do that. I only have 2 heroes available. My current heroes are all completely stressed. You cannot quest with less than 4 heroes. So what I've done is I've put myself into a state where I'm going to have to use 2 stressed heroes. And honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the Bard. He's got this stress heal, which I guess I will do nothing but. It says target, but it can de-stress multiple party members, and it's kind of random. It could de-stress nobody, it could distress everybody, but it's only 3 each time. So if I do start a dungeon with these people, that's definitely going to have to be used. Let's get you in here. Let's get you in here. Because I have no choice. So let's... So what I'm doing... In town will only pray for stress relief. So that's what I wanted to check, because that's what I'm going to have to make him do. So, before I do that, what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade the transept, increase stress recovery, reduce treatment cost. Pop him in there, pay our money. So now, when we come out, he's going to be lower on the stress scale. He's not going to be completely de-stressed, but it'll be enough that he's usable. Yes, you're afraid. We get it. So, unfortunately, whenever I go back in, she's still going to have that fearful. As my healer, that's really bad. And that's not going to go away when her stress goes down. The only way for it to go down is to basically be in here. I don't know if maybe the Jester can get her to a low enough point that it goes away. I don't think so.
Fresh kegs, cards,
this asshole.
And curtained rooms promise solace to the weary and broken alike.
Before I wrap this up, the caretaker is a bit of a dick. He also will use up these our de-stressing stations, as they were. And in the early game, that can be pretty bad. What if I did have enough heroes that I could de-stress you? But then she had an affliction that said, oh, I can only gamble. That's going to force me to upgrade in order to get that second slot. And that second slot is the 3rd, I believe? So that's guaranteeing that I have to use up these, all my deeds and portraits and stuff, on something I don't necessarily want to be spending them on right now, I'd prefer to save these up for when the blacksmith and the guild become available, because that's how I'm going to upgrade my heroes. That's how I'm going to make them more survivable. So, unfortunately, it's not affecting me now, but it can happen. So, this is a mixed start. I'm down a hero. I really wish that hadn't happened. But I am up in gold. I feel like I have a decent surplus of my building improvement items. I might give this another dungeon, see where it goes, but I'll likely have to abandon the dungeon, and if I don't know how much potential I can get out of it. But yeah. Alright, so that's Darkest Dungeon. We'll see if I play any more of it, in this particular playthrough, that is. My name has been Mild Wolfie. Thank you for joining me today.